e mammo della clava. Mamma, e mammo della clava.
Introduzione.
Flintstone, noi siamo i figli dei Flintstone. Viviamo nella preistoria e stiamo bene qua giù.
Evoluzione, generazione.
Flintstone, noi siamo i figli dei Flintstone. Ci piace fare baldoria per divertirci di più.
Evoluzione, generazione.
Divertimento, festeggiamento.
Siamo tutti cavallicoli, con Giulia e dai tempi della pietra sai la nostra età. Le avventure più incredibili di questo buffo primitivo mondo sono all'ordine del giorno. Flintstone, noi siamo i figli del Flintstone. Ci piace fare baldoria per divertirci di più. Evoluzione, generazione, divertimento, festeggiamento. Flintstone, noi siamo i figli del Flintstone. E mamma della clava. Flintstone.
Conclusione.
This is the secret diary of the Flintstones, written and expressed by Beef Stew 92. Enjoy the swellness of it. This video was brought to you by Super Smooth Feet, the newest foot moisturizer cream made by, well, yours truly, obviously. So what are you waiting for? Buy a bottle of Super Smooth Feet, Hillwood's #1 pedal lube. Moreover, Beef Stew 92 would like to thank Eltzer342 for the idea of the swell product. Oh criminy sweet toe jam, there goes the fourth wall, haha. Anyways, on with the show.
Hello foot fappers, my name is Fred Flintstone, and I think it pretty much goes without saying that I happen to be a podophiliac, with some sexy, smooth-looking bare feet. Ha ha ha. After all, we live in Bedrock, the town which is home to the largest populations of podophiliacs in the Hanna-Barbera universe. And since we're on that topic, a lot of you assume that Bedrock is set somewhere during prehistoric times. Heh, if you believe that, then you've got to be the biggest noob in history. Bedrock is in fact set in the modern era. It's just that our town comes from a country with the lowest dependencies on foreign imports on modern technology, so we use what resources we have in said country to create our own prehistoric-like civilization. As our theme song implies, they don't call us a modern Stone Age family for nothing. Wink.
Ah yes, this explanation of the Flintstones canon explains a great many things, such as how they are able to celebrate Christmas, or just have religion in general, plus have access to such things as television, or the internet in later incarnations, and of course this explains how they exist in the same time as dinosaurs. These things have baffled Beef Stew 92 for years, as I am sure it has for many a Flintstone fan. Thanks loads Fred, for finally clearing all that up for us. Hamata.
No problems too, and thanks loads for the swell cameo. Wink. But anyways, since we're also on the topic of dinosaurs in Bedrock, well YouTubers, much like in Jurassic Park, all the dinosaurs in Bedrock are genetically engineered by our country's top scientists. So, for those of you who thought it cruel for us to use these living creatures as construction equipment and household appliances, just calm the flying toe jam down. It's just part of their genetic coding, which also, for some reason, makes them spout out cheesy puns related to their respective duties. And yes, Dino is in fact a genetic creation, as he was designed to be a love pet. Oh yes, whenever Dino was done licking my face, when I walk into the house, he would always eventually move down to my feet. Or sometimes I would even jack off Dino's massive dino dick with my velvet smooth Stone Age steppers, until he unleashes his love tar all over my band pancakes. It's just as swell as it sounds. Of course these swell scenes were always edited out when they aired our show on television. It was the 1960s after all, go figure. But enough about that, let's focus more on my foot fetish, starting with the members of my foot family. Firstly, there is my sexy wife Wilma Flintstone, who not only has a dainty pair of sexy steppers, but also she is the leggiest female in Bedrock. Yes. In fact, why don't I let my darling soul spouse tell you more about herself?
Hello, my name is Wilma Flintstone and everything Fred told you is true. That is, I really love sexy, smooth-looking bare feet, especially the sexy smooth feet of my heel husband Fred, of whom I love to give him long and erotic foot rubs, until he gets that swell feeling of sexual ecstasy. Yes. I also spend hours upon hours listening to the Foot Fappers hotline, just hearing those hot young men and women talking about their sexy smooth feet over the phone as I masturbate to pictures of them. Get my blanket so wet that I have to sit myself on 5 or 6 layers of wildcat pelts, just to soak up all the excess pussy juice. Anyways, aside from my husband Fred and my love children, there's also my sexy BFF Betty Rubble, who has the sexiest female feet I have ever laid eyes on in bedrock. Ha ha ha. But more on those details later. Back to you, Fred dear.
Right. Now let's get to me and Wilma's love children. The first of our cuticle kids is Pebbles, the youngest member of our foot family. Whenever I spend some quality time with my little Pebbly Poo, what I like to do is take her little tootsies and play little piggies with her and tickle the bottoms of her feet until she goes into a giggle fit, and after I got her all laughed out, I take her sexy little love nuggets and lick the areas between her little pebble toes and get a taste of the toe treats with it. Ha ha ha. Speaking of which, there's a reason our trademark cereal has the same name as our daughter. That's right. Pebbles cereal is actually a swell concoction made using the collective toe jam and foot sweat from my daughter Pebbles, and has been made the #1 foot food product in Bedrock. Moreover, there is also a teenage version of Pebbles, who was made for the later Flintstone incarnations during the 70s and the 80s, but Beefs 292 will go more into detail about that in a future video. Ha ha ha.
Hey, easy for him to say. He's not the one who has to put the fourfold back together.
Next is my soul son Stony, of whom I adopted during the events of one of our lesser-known Christmas specials, whose sexy underaged pancakes are just in need for some lovin'. When me and Stony have our father-son bonding moments, we like to play swell sex games like Jailbait. Now Jailbait is a lot like a prison rape game, only we like to do stuff with our feet, obviously. Oh yes, Stony is always ready and eager to be my personal foot slave during our quality time. What he likes to do is sit me down in my chair and massage my feet, and while he does this, I masturbate to Wilma, giving Pebbles a soul scrub, while she gets her ready for her afternoon nap, and after I'm nice and relaxed from my rub down, Stony takes his slender flesh nuggets and rubs the shaft of my pee-pee penis until it grows nice and hard, and then he takes his toes and pinches the tip of my love stalagmite, and after a while I erupt like a volcano and cover Stony's meat cushions with my hot sticky love lava. Yes sir, that's my boy. Now then, aside from my cuticle kin, there are also our sexy next-door neighbors, and BFFs the Rubbles, of whom we have swell mega stomp toe orgies with every day. For example, there is my long ha-ha-ha, and I do mean long-time BFF Barney Rubble, whose smooth feet really rock the foundation of bedrock as much as yours truly. Me and Barn have been the best of pedal pals since childhood, and are still as close today as we were back then, ha-ha-ha. And like my wife Wilma mentioned earlier in the video, Barney's soul spouse Betty is also a swell footster, whose sweet pedalage is just as dainty as Wilma's. Yes. And just like our daughter Pebbles, the Rubbles also have a teenage version of their son Bam Bam. And then there's their love pet Hoppy, who has the longest and smoothest feet in the family. Wink. So as you can see, both the Flintstones and the Rubbles are the most inseparable of literate soulmates, and our foot friendship has been pushed up to the next level by joining the Ketchum clan, the swellest group of podophiliacs this side of the Speakonia community. Being members of the Ketchum clan has helped to put the town of Bedrock on the map. There is now a big demand for Bedrock brand pedal cars, and Bronto Burgers have become the next hot fast food seller in Bedrock. And of course our place of business Slade & Company has been converted into the Bedrock branch of Medical Mechanica, manufacturer of the finest brand of Stone Age-inspired sex toys in all of Bedrock. And just for the record, me and Barney are currently working on this new idea for an invention, which will hopefully give me that promotion that I've always wanted. Yes. Anyways, all this talk has really put me in the mood for some soul satisfaction. Say Wilma, how's about we close out this video by having you and me and the kids finish off this secret diary the only way a modern Stone Age foot family knows how? What do you say?
Oh yes Fred, that sounds really swell. I've been on my feet all day advertising some new pedal products for the Rock and Spiel food show, and my tired steppers could really use some attention from my two favorite men of the house. Ha ha ha.
Ahaya, you bet Pops. I'd so like to get it on with you Mom and Pebs for sure. How's about it little sister? You ready to have some sibling bonding time together?
Goo, yes brother, me play pancake with you and Dada. Bag, yes that be swell.
Well then it's settled. Let's all get our foot freaks on right.
Hey Fred, my old onion buddy, I couldn't help but hear that you and your family were having a foot orgy, and you know I can't say no to a foot orgy. That's why I brought me and my whole foot family here to join in on the foot festivities. Yes.
That's right Wilma, after all, wouldn't it be more fun to have some girl gossip with your BFF to go with your swell sexy time? Bam bam. We want play footsies with pedals. Bam bam.
Yes, if it isn't our aforementioned BFFs the Rubbles. Back, now it's gonna be a swell orgy for sure.
Well, what are we waiting for, Fred? Let's get that dough jam orgy started for Pete's sake.
Alrighty then, let's have a yabba dabba do time. This swell sexy time is literally courtesy of my 2 feet. So many pancakes, so little time. Barney and Betty are massaging my feet, while Wilma gives me a soul scrub. Tony is spending some quality time with Pebbles and Bam Bam. Dino is licking all of our tender toes. Hoppy is bouncing on our various private areas. Such smooth pedalage. Sniffing in the sweet scent from Stoney's love nuggets. Work that boner barn. While Wilma and Betty are giving each other clit slides. The coochie coochie coo pebbly poo. Happy ending time like and now for the sweet release.
That was swell.
Well, despite those two dum-dums leaving me out of their foot orgy, I suppose I can still wrap things up here. Anyways, dear viewers, this is the Great Kazoo saying thanks for watching and stay tuned for more swell foot action. Ta-ta for now, Flintstone fans. Wink.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, they're the Monosonics family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Flintstone feet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. We'll have a gay old time.
Oh no.